In the village of Whisper Creek, the main street was divided. On the north side, there was a shop painted bright yellow and pink. It was Marcus's bakery. Every morning, the smell of sugar, cinnamon, and sweet fruits came from its chimney. The windows were full of beautiful things, cakes with tall swirls of white frosting, pastries dusted with sweet powder, and bread shaped like dragons and castles. Marcus was a large man with a loud laugh. He wore a tall, white hat. The villagers loved him. They lined up every day to buy his sweet, wonderful treats. On the south side of the street, there was a small, plain, stone building. It was Elias's bakery. The paint on his sign was old and peeling. From his chimney, there was only one smell, the simple, warm smell of bread. In Elias's window, there was only one thing, a row of simple, brown loaves. Elias was a small, quiet man. He did not have a tall, white hat. He wore a simple, flour-dusted apron. He was a very good baker. His bread was perfect. The crust was crisp, and the inside was soft and warm. But it was just bread. It was not exciting. It was not new. The villagers did not line up at Elias's shop. Sometimes, the blacksmith would buy a loaf. "It is good, honest bread, Elias," he would say. Sometimes, the old woman who swept the streets would buy a loaf. "It fills the belly," she would say. But most people walked right past. They went to Marcus's shop for the sweet cakes. Elias was lonely. His shop was quiet. The small bell on his door almost never rang. He would stand by his window and watch the happy crowds at Marcus's shop. He watched them laugh and eat their colorful pastries. He did not feel angry. He just felt invisible. He felt like a gray stone on the side of a busy road. But Elias had a secret. His small, stone building was 2 stories high. On the flat roof, hidden from the street, he had a garden. It was not a garden for food. It was not a garden for vegetables. It was a garden for flowers. No one in the village knew about it. It was his private, quiet place. He had built the wooden boxes himself. He had carried the soil up the narrow stairs, 1 bucket at a time. In these boxes, he grew the most beautiful, simple flowers. He grew small, blue forget-me-nots. He grew white moonflowers that only opened at night. He grew star jasmine that smelled sweet in the dark. This garden was his only joy. Every evening, when the sun went down, he would go up to his roof. He would water his flowers. He would touch their soft petals. He would talk to them. "Hello, little one," he would whisper to a new bluebell. "You are very beautiful today." The flowers were his friends. They listened to his quiet voice. They never asked for sweet cakes. They just lived, simple and true. Elias was poor. He sold very little bread. He had almost no money. But every night, after he closed his shop, he did a special kind of baking. He would take his best flour. He would take the fresh eggs he bought from a farmer. He would use his good honey. He would bake 1 perfect loaf of bread. He did not make a simple, brown loaf. He would shape this loaf into something beautiful. Sometimes it was a star. Sometimes it was a sun. Sometimes it was a braid, like a beautiful rope. He would bake it until it was a perfect, golden brown. While it was still warm, he would go up to his roof. He would look at all his flowers. He would choose one. Just one. The most perfect one. He would pick the flower and gently place it on top of the warm bread. Then he would wrap the bread in a clean, white cloth. He would wait until the village was asleep. He would wait until the streets were dark and empty. He would take his small, warm loaf. He would slip out of his shop, like a shadow. He knew the village better than anyone. He knew who was hungry. He knew the widow at the end of the lane, whose children were thin. He knew the old stonecutter, whose hands were too stiff to work. He knew the young family whose farm had failed. He would walk through the dark, silent streets. He was quiet as a mouse. He would go to one of their houses. He would gently place the warm, wrapped bread on their windowsill. Then he would disappear back into the night. He never left a note. He never told anyone. He did this every single night. He went back to his small, empty room. He would eat a small bowl of porridge for his own dinner. He would go to sleep. And in the morning, he would feel happy. He was still lonely. But he was not empty. One year, a cold, gray sickness came to Whisper Creek. It was not a normal sickness. It did not come in the winter. It came in the warm summer. It was called the gray fever. People would feel very tired. Then they would cough, a dry, dusty cough. Then their skin would turn a pale, sad gray. The village doctor, a wise old woman named Dr. Elias, was confused. She had never seen this sickness. She had no medicine for it. She told everyone to stay in their homes. She told them to wash their hands and boil their water. The village changed. The streets became empty. The laughter stopped. Fear was a cold fog that covered the village. Marcus's bakery closed. People were afraid to buy sweet cakes. They were afraid to stand in a line. Elias's shop stayed open, but no one came, not even the blacksmith. The village was locked in its houses. The fear grew, and when people are afraid, they look for someone to blame. They looked for someone different. A man named Theron, the blacksmith, was watching from his window one night. He was worried. His son was sick with the gray fever. He could not sleep. He stared at the empty, moonlit street. Then, he saw something. A shadow. A small, hunched shadow, moving quickly. The shadow stopped at the widow's house. It left something on the windowsill. The shadow was Elias. Theron's eyes grew narrow. "What is he doing?" Theron whispered. "He is walking in the night while we are all sick. He is visiting the houses of the sick." The next day, Theron went out. He wore a mask over his face. He spoke to the mayor. "Elias the baker," Theron said, his voice angry. "He is strange. He is quiet. He has no family. And he walks in the night. He leaves things on our windowsills." The mayor was a man who liked to show he was in charge. "This is bad," the mayor said. "He is acting strangely. Maybe he is the cause." The fear had found a name. The name was Elias. "He is always alone," one woman whispered. "People who are always alone are not natural." "His bread is so plain," said another. "Maybe it is a trick. Maybe it looks simple, but it is poison." "And he walks at night," said Theron. "Only bad people walk at night." A small group of men, led by Theron, went to Elias's shop. They pounded on the locked door. Elias was scared. He opened the door. Theron pushed inside. "What are you doing at night, Elias?" he demanded. I. Elias was too frightened to speak. He could not tell his secret. It was his secret. I just walk." "You are a liar," Theron shouted. "You are spreading the sickness." The men looked around the small, poor shop. It was clean. It was simple. "There is nothing here," one man said. Theron looked up. He saw the narrow stairs. "What is up there?" "Nothing," Elias whispered. It is just the roof. It is private." "Private?" Theron said. "We have no secrets in this village. Not when we are sick." He pushed past Elias. He ran up the stairs. The other men followed. They opened the door to the roof. And they stopped. They saw the garden. The small wooden boxes full of soil. And the flowers. The white moonflowers were closed, sleeping in the day. The bluebells were bright. The men stared. They had never seen anything like it. "What is this?" Theron said. It is my garden," Elias whispered. "Flowers," Theron said. He was suspicious. "Why do you grow flowers on a roof? For what magic? For what poison?" They are just flowers," Elias said, his heart breaking. "They are my friends." Theron kicked one of the boxes. Dirt spilled out. "He grows strange things in secret," Theron shouted to the street below. "He has a secret garden on his roof. This is not natural. This is where the sickness is coming from. His strange, magic flowers." The village believed him. They were scared. They needed someone to blame. Elias, the quiet man, and his secret flowers became the enemy. "He is a poisoner. He is a witch. He brought the gray fever." They threw stones at his windows. They painted a black X on his door. "Stay away," they shouted. "Poisoner." Elias locked his door. He went to his small room. He sat on his bed. He could hear the angry voices. He could hear the stones hit his wall. He was more than lonely now. He was hated. He had no money. He had sold no bread for a week. He looked at his bag of flour. It was almost empty. He looked at his small box of coins. It was empty. He was starving. He went to his roof. The men had broken some of his boxes. His flowers were crushed. He saw his bluebells, broken and dying. He fell to his knees. He cried. He cried for his flowers. He cried for his village. He cried for his loneliness. "What did I do?" he whispered to his broken plants. "I only wanted to give. And now, I have nothing left." He was hungry. He was so hungry, his stomach hurt. He looked at his small bag of flour. "I must eat," he thought. "I must make a small bread for myself. Just for me." He put his hand in the bag. He felt the flour. Just enough for one small loaf. He felt weak. He sat on the floor. He sat there all day. The village was silent. The sun began to go down. Evening came. The fear outside was a thick, dark blanket. Elias sat in his dark shop, holding the small handful of flour. His hunger was a sharp pain. Then, he thought of something. He thought of Dr. Elias. He had seen her. She was the only person still walking in the streets. She walked from house to house. She did not sleep. She carried her small bag. She looked so tired. Her own face was gray, not from the sickness, but from work. He had seen her yesterday stumble and almost fall. She had not eaten. "She is trying to save us," Elias whispered to himself. "And no one is helping her." He looked at the handful of flour in his hand. It was his last meal. He stood up. He did not make a simple bread. He went to his kitchen. He used the last, clean drops of water from his well. He used the last, tiny bit of salt. He made a dough. His hands were shaking, but he kneaded the dough. He worked it, just like he always did. He shaped it. He did not make a simple loaf. He shaped it carefully into a perfect, round sun with rays coming out. He put it in his oven. He used his last pieces of wood. He baked it. The smell of fresh, warm bread filled his small, sad shop. The smell made his hunger even worse. He felt dizzy. When the bread was perfect, he took it out. It was small, but it was beautiful. Golden brown. He went to his roof. He looked at his broken garden. The men had destroyed almost everything. But in the corner, in a pot that they did not see, his white moonflower. And on its vine, one perfect, large, white flower had just opened. It was glowing in the twilight. It was beautiful. It had opened, just for this night. Elias looked at it. It was his last friend. He gently picked the flower. He went downstairs. He placed the perfect, white flower on the center of the warm, sun-shaped bread. He wrapped it in his last clean, white cloth. He opened his locked door. He looked out. The street was empty. The black X on his door looked like a scar. He was weak. He held onto the wall as he walked. He was a shadow, moving in the shadows. He went through the dark village. He did not go to a poor house. He went to the house with the green door. Dr. Elias's house. He saw a light in her window. She was still working. He gently placed the warm, precious loaf on her windowsill. He did not wait. He turned and limped back to his shop. He locked his door. He went to his room. He had nothing left. He lay on his bed and closed his eyes. A few hours later, Dr. Elias came home. She was so tired, she could not even climb the stairs to her bed. She sat in her chair by the window. She put her head in her hands. "I cannot do it," she whispered. "The sickness is too strong. I am failing." She felt hopeless. Then, she smelled something. A warm, sweet smell. The smell of fresh bread. She looked up. She saw the small, white package on her windowsill. She opened the window. She brought it inside. She unwrapped the cloth. She saw the bread, shaped like a sun. She saw the perfect, white flower. She stared at it. It was the most beautiful thing she had ever seen. She was so hungry. She was so tired. She picked up the bread. She ate it. The warm, simple bread was the best food she had ever tasted. It was not just food. It was hope. It was kindness. It gave her strength. She looked at the flower. "A moonflower," she whispered. "They are so rare." She looked out her window. Her window was on the second floor. From her window, she could see over the other buildings. She could see a small, dark shape, the roof of Elias's bakery, and on it, a single empty pot. She understood. "Elias," she whispered. "It was you." At the same time, miles away, at the edge of the village, Theron the blacksmith was walking. He could not sleep. His son was worse. He was walking by the stream, the one everyone used. But he walked farther than usual. He walked behind the bright, fancy, closed bakery of Marcus. And there, he found the smell. A terrible, sour, sick smell. He saw a small, hidden pool. It was a spring. Marcus, the baker, had been dumping his old, rotten sugar and bad milk into this spring. The water from this spring ran under the ground. It went into the main village well. It was not Elias. It was not the flowers. It was Marcus's sweet, sugary waste. It was the water. Theron ran back to the village. He woke the mayor. "It is the well. The well is poisoned." The next morning, Dr. Elias and Theron met in the street. "We have been fools," Theron said. "We blamed the wrong man. I found the poison. It was the well." Dr. Elias held up the white, faded moonflower. "And I found the kindness," she said. "While we were throwing stones, he was baking his last piece of bread. For me." The village was cured. They stopped using the well. The gray fever left. But a new sickness was in the village. It was called shame. They went to Elias's shop. The black X was still on the door. They knocked. "Elias, come out." There was no answer. "Elias." Silence. Theron, the strong blacksmith, felt a terrible fear. He put his shoulder to the door. He broke the lock. They went inside. The shop was cold. It was empty. They went up the stairs. They found Elias on his small bed. He was so thin. He was pale. His eyes were closed. He was not dead, but he was close. In his hand, he was clutching one small, dark seed. A flower seed. The villagers looked at the empty flour bag. They looked at the clean, empty kitchen. They looked at the small, weak man. They finally understood. Theron, the big, strong man, began to cry. He gently lifted Elias in his arms. He carried him out into the sunlight. "He is not the poison," Theron shouted to the village. "He is the medicine. He is the only good man here." They took Elias to the doctor's house. Dr. Elias fed him broth. The villagers, they went to his shop. They did not have money, but they had other things. Theron went to the roof. He spent all day mending the broken boxes. He built new, stronger ones. The farmers came. They brought bags of their best flour. They brought eggs and honey. The women of the village, the same ones who had whispered, now came and cleaned his shop. They did not wait for him to ask. They just did it. A week later, Elias was strong enough to walk. He went back to his shop. He opened the door. It was not the same. It was clean. The shelves were full. There were 10 bags of flour against the wall. There were baskets of eggs, jars of honey. He walked to his counter. On the counter was a vase. In the vase was a single, beautiful rose from the mayor's own garden. Elias touched the rose. He went upstairs. He opened the door to his roof. His garden was beautiful. It was twice as big. The broken plants were gone. New, fresh soil was in every box. The villagers were standing there, waiting for him. Theron, the mayor, Dr. Elias. From that day on, Elias's bakery changed. It was still a simple stone building. He still made simple, brown bread. But now there was a line outside his door every morning. It was longer than Marcus's line. The villagers wanted the simple, warm bread. They said it tasted like kindness. Elias was not lonely anymore. Theron came every day to help him lift the heavy bags. The small children, who used to make fun of him, now came to his roof. He taught them how to water the flowers. He still baked a special loaf every night. But now he did not have to do it in secret. The whole village helped him. They called it the loaf of kindness. And every night, a different family would be chosen to deliver it. The village of Whisper Creek learned a lesson. The world is full of loud voices and bright, fancy things. It is easy to see the cakes. It is easy to listen to fear. It is easy to blame the person who is quiet. But true goodness, it is not loud. It is quiet. It is simple. It is steady. It is the heart that keeps doing its good work, even when it is hated. It is the baker who bakes his last loaf of bread for someone else. Your value is not in what people think of you. It is not in your fame or your riches. Your value is in your secret, steady kindness. It is in the flower you grow on your roof and the bread you give in the dark. That is a light that no fear can ever put out.